Are you thinking about camping in your Tesla but don't know what gear you actually need? Well, this 2026 guide walks you through every essential, from sleep setup to power and comfort, and I'll share some valuable tips we've learned along the way. When it comes to Tesla camping, your mattress makes or breaks the whole experience. So let's talk options, because not everybody needs or wants to start at the same price point. On the budget end, there's the official Tesla mattress. We haven't personally tested it yet, but plenty of Tesla campers love it as a simple all-in-one starter option. It features an external 12-volt air pump that inflates and deflates. Some reviews highlight that it's too firm when fully inflated, so a good tip is to let out a little air so it has more give. If you're just dipping your toes into Tesla camping, this is a safe way to try it without spending big. Mid-range, that's where we started with the Xped Megamat Auto. It's surprisingly supportive and self-inflating, but in reality, you're still going to need to manually inflate it to reach true levels of comfort. You can use the included manual inflator or pick up Xped's widget pump for auto inflation. Unlike the official Tesla mattress, the widget pump can't auto deflate. For that, you'd need the Xped Mega Pump, which handles both inflation and deflation. Xped is a camping brand that's been around for decades, and it got us comfortably through our 20-day Tesla camping road trip around Europe. But if you're after true comfort, the kind that makes your car feel like a mini hotel, the Snoozo mattress is the clear winner. The mattress self-levels, ironing out that annoying slope caused by the rear seats not folding fully flat. The air pump is not only cleverly built in, but also removable. On a full charge, it will inflate and deflate around 7 times, and it charges via USB-C. No extra cables, no relying on the 12-volt outlet, and it will actually inflate with your body weight on the mattress. It's pricier, but if you value great sleep, it's worth it. We've switched to this full time now, and it's a huge upgrade. I've added our promo code TheGreens in the description if you want to save some money on it. And here's a quick tip for anyone using non-Snoozo setups. When the rear seats are folded, there's no support where your head rests. To fix that, you'll want a headrest extender to fill the gap between the front seats and the mattress. Without it, your head will fall into that gap. So unless you pick up the Snoozo, which solves this problem in one, do yourself and your neck a favour and grab a cheap headrest extender. Now let's talk about the space itself. Because once you've sorted your mattress, your next priority is creating a private, cosy environment that actually feels good to sleep in. One of the best upgrades you can make is a set of blackout privacy screens. We use screens for the windscreen, all side windows and the rear window. They block out artificial light, stop the morning sun from waking you up too early, and give you that sense of security you only get when nobody can see inside. You can DIY these with reflective bubble wrap or blackout fabric if you're only camping for a night or two. But for the low cost of proper ready-made ones, it's a no-brainer. They're quicker, cleaner, and fit the windows properly. For the glass roof, we never used a cover, and waking up with the sunlight was actually fine for us. But if you're a light sleeper or camping somewhere very bright, you can buy a roof screen as well. We haven't tested one yet, but lots of Tesla campers swear by them. For bedding, simple is best. We skipped sleeping bags and brought 2 Sherpa fleece lined blankets, one each to avoid any arguments over who was really stealing covers. It wasn't me. And using your own pillow from home is a game changer. It adds a familiar bit of comfort that makes sleeping in the car feel surprisingly normal. We also put a regular double bed sheet over the Xped mattress to keep everything clean and make it feel more like a real bed. When the seats are folded down, you've got less room to work with, so compact storage makes life so much easier. Small storage drawers that slide under the front seats are perfect for shoes, cables and spare layers. And anything you want during the night should stay on the front seats or beside your bed. There's nothing more annoying than digging through the car when you're already tucked in. Once your sleeping space and privacy are already dialed in, the next important part is power. How you cook, charge devices and run a fridge. For power, we use the Jackery Explorer 500. It's great for charging laptops, cameras, drones, all the usual road trip kit. But when it comes to cooking with an induction hob, the Jackery 500 really struggles. Boiling water takes far longer than it should. If you're planning to cook regularly, I'd highly recommend aiming for at least a 1 kilowatt power station. That gives you the wattage you need to actually boil water quickly and cook proper meals. This is where the EcoFlow Delta 2 becomes the better choice. We haven't tested it ourselves yet, but other Tesla campers rave about it. And on paper, it's simply the stronger option. Higher battery capacity, multiple AC outlets, much faster charging, better power delivery for induction cooking, and overall better long-term value. And the most efficient way to charge your power station is to use the 12-volt charger while driving. It keeps the battery topped up throughout the day and means you start every campsite stop with a full charge. Just remember, your Tesla is a giant battery bank. We run our fridge off the 12-volt outlet in the rear and it's been completely reliable. We recently upgraded to the Yuhime 18-litre car fridge. It's slightly smaller than the one we used across Europe, so we're eager to see how much space it saves on future trips. In terms of efficiency, it only pulls between 45 to 60 watts, which is incredibly low. And in our experience, Yuhime fridges offer some of the best value in the Tesla camping world. They cool fast, they're quiet, and they fit perfectly in the sub-trunk of the Model Y. If you're staying at campsites, it's also worth picking up a campsite electric hookup cable, the blue CEE style plug. This lets you use the campsite's mains power to run your fridge, charge devices, and cook without draining your power station at all. In fact, depending on where you camp, this might eliminate the need for a power station entirely. And if the campsite allows it, you can even trickle charge your Tesla using the universal mobile connector. Just be sure to double check with the owners because some campsites will allow it while others don't. For cooking, we used a small induction hob. It's clean, efficient and easy to use, especially if you're plugged into campsite power. But if you prefer, you can always use a butane gas stove. Just make sure you cook outside the car if you're using gas. A foldable camping table is also essential. Even a tiny one makes cooking so much easier and keeps everything off the ground. Having the ability to make a proper meal at the end of the day really transforms the whole trip. It sounds like a small thing, but being able to boil water, make pasta or heat up soup really grounds you when you're travelling. And if you want to take organisation to the next level, check out the Tesla Camping Kits by Frugal. They offer various setups that will level up your organisation game and provide a flat sleeping platform for your mattress of choice. I'll include our code THEGREENS in the description. It will save you $100 off any products at frugal.co. And here's an important tip, if you're finding this guide helpful, we're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So help us out and hit subscribe. And if you've already done it, thank you so much. Your support means more than you know. Once your power and cooking setup is sorted, the next part is adding the comfort upgrades that make your car feel like home. So here's our top 5 comfort upgrades. Number 1, comfortable camping chairs. If you've got the space, comfy chairs are absolutely worth it. After long driving days, sitting outside with fresh air and a view does wonders. Trust me, you will get cabin fever if you try to stay in the car the whole time. Number 2, a tailgate tent. If you're travelling with children or a dog, a tailgate tent becomes almost essential. It gives you extra space to move around, store kit, or even sleep someone outside if needed. For solo travellers or couples, it's optional, but for families, it's game changing. Number 3, lighting. The cabin lights in the rear of the Tesla are fine, but if you want to read at night, you'll need something extra. USB lanterns are perfect for this. You can hang them on the coat hooks inside the rear of the Model Y, and they give you warm, focused lighting. They're also extremely handy if you need to pop to the loo at the campsite during the night. And if you're sleeping with a tailgate tent, here's a quick warning. The light on the boot lid will stay on, and Tesla don't let you turn it off. The only workaround is to wedge something into the boot latch, so the car will think that the trunk is actually closed. Number 4, a backup air pump. Even if your main pump is reliable, things happen. Having a cheap backup pump gives you peace of mind, especially if your mattress relies on one. Because if your pump dies on day 3 of a long trip, that's going to sting. Number 5, a reliable car fridge. Cold drinks, pre-made meals, fruit, it just makes travelling effortless. Once you use a fridge, you'll never want to go back. And here's some unexpected upgrades that could make a huge difference. Consider getting yourself a telescopic touchscreen pointer. Now, we haven't tested this yet, but it might actually be a game changer. It lets you reach the touchscreen from bed, so you can lock the car safely, adjust camp mode, or watch Netflix without having to do that awkward stretch. Is it ridiculous? Maybe, but is it useful? Most definitely. And have you ever thought about taking your parcel shelf? Well, this one's surprisingly clever. If you're watching Netflix or YouTube in bed, looking through the tiny gap between the two front seats isn't exactly comfortable. Resting a laptop or tablet on the parcel shelf gives you a perfect viewing angle without neck strain. It basically turns the back of the car into a mini cinema. And here's a big lesson we learned the hard way. Pack less. Seriously, pack way less. If you're like me, you'll feel a deep primal urge to bring everything you own just in case. But once the seats are folded down, space disappears faster than you'd expect. You end up moving gear around like you're playing real life Tetris, and no, it's not fun. A simple setup always wins. Fewer bags, fewer decisions, and fewer things to shift every single night. Now that your comfort upgrades are sorted, let's walk you through your nighttime routine and how to manage your battery safely. Step 1, park up and level the car if needed. If the ground is uneven, your sleep setup will feel uneven. A tiny slope doesn't matter, but if it's noticeable, turn the car 180 degrees or move a meter forward or back. It makes a huge difference. Step 2, clear the boot and fold the seats down. This takes less time if you keep your bags compact and organised. 10 minutes is the sweet spot for a full setup once you've done it a couple of times. Step 3, set up your mattress and privacy screens. This is your turning the car into a bedroom moment. Once the screens are on, everything instantly feels more homely and private. Step 4, start camp mode but set it up properly. This is a key point beginners often miss. We usually set temperature to around 20 degrees Celsius, fan speed manually to level 1, and we turn off auto climate. Camp mode keeps the cabin at the perfect temperature, and the fan on level 1 keeps fresh air circulating without blasting air all night. Step 5, lock the car from the touchscreen. This is important. If you lock the car using the Tesla app while your phone key is still nearby, the car is technically still connected to your key, which means doors can still be opened from outside, and you won't know unless you're looking at the touchscreen. Tesla now shows a warning message on screen, which is nice, but if you're already lying in bed, you'll never see it. So lock the car using the touchscreen and you're good. Step 6 is optional. Crack some windows or use vent mode. If you're doing a low battery night without camp mode, a tiny bit of airflow stops condensation and keeps things comfortable. Just don't overdo it, small gaps work best. And in terms of battery management, Tesla owners always ask, how much battery does camp mode actually use? So here's the real world answer from us and many other Tesla campers. 1 to 2% per hour on average. More on really cold nights and less on warm ones. That means if you start the night with 70% battery, you'll wake up with around about 50 to 60%. Plenty for the next day's drive. The only rule you must remember, don't let your battery drop below 20%. Because if it does, Tesla automatically disables camp mode and re-enables the car alarm. And trust me, you don't want the alarm going off at 3 AM at a silent campsite. So that's our full Tesla camping setup and gear guide for 2026. If you're planning your first Tesla camping trip, I hope this gives you the confidence to actually try it. Because once you get the basics right, the whole experience becomes surprisingly simple. And honestly, a lot of fun. And if you found this video helpful, we're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so tapping that subscribe button genuinely helps more than you know. And if you've already subscribed, well, you're awesome. Now if you want to take the next step and see how much a Tesla camping trip actually costs, check out our upcoming video on how much we spent on our 20-day Tesla camping road trip. I'll link it right here as soon as it goes live. And if that one isn't up yet, I'll link our in-depth review of the smoothest mattress. Thanks so much for watching and enjoy your Tesla camping adventure. We will see you in the next one.